Hello there, and welcome to this episode of A Tiny Dot in Space, where I explore the world, one territory, one state, one county, one region, one district, whatever you call the first level of subdivision of the various countries on planet Earth, at a time on GeoGuessr. And I have three aims in mind while doing so. First of all, to go and see places, well, not to go, but to see places I've never been to and probably will never go to. And second of all, hopefully have a good time or some fun while doing so, or maybe even see something nice or beautiful or interesting. And third of all, try to play a perfect game of 25,000 points on GeoGuessr in whatever area I'm in at any given time. And if I succeed in doing so, that is the last thing you'll see of that area in the series. And if I fail, you might see it again at a later date. Now, my random number generator sort of seems to lock in on certain countries at times. So there was a spell where I would only get, it felt like the only things I was getting was like Turkey and Vietnam. And now recently, it's been focusing a lot on the Bahamas for some reason. Excuse me. So today we are moving back into the Bahamas. I think it's the fourth time in a fairly short time we're going into the Bahamas. We're going to the very aptly named Long Island. As you can see, it is quite long. It's 130 kilometers long and 6 kilometers wide at most. So it's a long old place. Hey, and then of course sometimes I do spot these locations. So yeah, this is not a scripted map, which is what my preferred way of doing things, but a lot of these countries, of course, most of the countries in the world don't have Google Street View and GeoGuessr official coverage. So I'll have to make do with what I can make on my own in these places with third-party coverage. So yeah, Long Island is a district, has, well, let's say that the statistics are very, very confusing in some ways. But it should be 596 square kilometers. And in 2022, there are two different sources. One says the final census result in 2022 was 2,718. While another source claims that no, it was 2,887 inhabitants. Well, gods know what is right, and it gets even more confusing when we get to the capital of the district, which is Clarence Town, which is here. And according so Wikipedia is the only source I got for the number of inhabitants in Clarence Town, and I would say that the ones that says that there was 86 people living there in 2010 seems a little right, but then further down the page it says that Clarence Town had 1,705 inhabitants in 2010. So, well, I'll take those numbers with a grain of salt, but let's say that there's roughly 2,750 people living on Long Island. And with that in mind, I think we'll go and have a look at this very long sandbar of an island and create a challenge, as always, and put a challenge link in a safe spot so that you can find it in the description section of this video and have a go at playing the same game and see if you can beat me, which you probably will, or might be able to do at least. Ooh. Yeah, so there are a number of roads going across the island from the main road, which is the Queen's Highway, if I remember correctly. The Queen's Highway, that reminds me of all sorts of cheesy highway rubber lines, and I can tell you right away that this will not be a 25k game, at least not with this start, because, well, this is, oh, looky here, Google Maps Street View project. Okay, so we should have Bahamas released before too long, I think, as official Street View coverage. But I guess they need to censor a lot of images before they do that. Oh man, this is slow. This is world record slow. So I just hope that we're not on one of those 6 kilometer roads. across the widest part of the island, because, as I said, there's quite a few roads going across the island, and nearly all of them go northeastwards for some reason. And I wouldn't know why, but that's just how it is. And this one will just be pure guesswork in terms of where on the road we were when we started. And there is a slight hint of a bend up there. It kind of feels like we're quite elevated, but that might just be the tilt of the car. So maybe the road here is quite tilted. It's very hard to move in this stuff because it's so slow. It's all third party, so this is going to take some time. Please let that be the right-hander. Okay, so that's 5 minutes, and this has to be the right-hander. Yes, this is the right-hander. Okay, so we've spent 5 minutes going up to there, and 4.5 minutes going down to there. So let's try and translate that into something. So 5 minutes, that's 300 seconds. And 4.5 is 270. That's 570 seconds in all. And yeah. So if we get the middle, 570, that would be 285. And then we subtract another 15 to 270. So let's see. So 285 should be about there. Let's see. So then that makes 242.5. 242.5. Let's put that up on the margin like so. So that's 142.5 rather. 142.5, and let's see, and that will be 82, we'll call that, oh, what else is 72? Yes, 72, and then we get 36, and then we get 15 about there. So let's call that, and let's see if we are within at least half a kilometer. That's a stupid route, but yeah, let's just try. Well, that's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, that was never going to be easy. So, oh well. No, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. Okay. It's not the same road because the car is traveling in the opposite direction, isn't it? Oh man, there's so many locations along the Queen's Highway, and it picks these roads. Oh why, oh why, oh why? Now there are a few that actually lead down to the sea rather than a highway in this direction. So, oh man, this is not as much brush and undergrowth as I want to experience at any point in my life. I just hope, well, there's a pallet. Let's just hope there is some civilization nearby. Right, so we spent 10 minutes along this road. We're going to spend the minutes it takes to get to that corner. We might actually have been quite close to it. Let's see. Starting at 12:10. And here it is. Already, actually. Okay, so that's interesting. It was somewhere around here. And we got a couple of tiny bends here. And let's see now if we can make use of any of those. A little hard to tell where those bends are. Of course, I didn't count how long it took me, but that is rendered fairly academical at the moment. Let's see now. That's gotta be that bend. Right, okay, let's try and do some counting. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. Excuse me. 19 to this bend. And then how far to the corner? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to the corner. That gives us 25. That means that 12.5 is roughly there. Means that 6 is roughly there. Wow. Okay, I'll take it. And then we're on the Queen's Highway, at least. It looks like we're at some sort of settlement. There's a couple of roads and maybe some buildings around. Let's see what it says on this sign. Militants and bunches. Okay. I'll have to look for militant and bunches, and fairly southerly. We got Cabbage Point, Roses. That is very southerly. Buckley's Galloway, Deadman's Key, Old Grey Settlement, Pinder's Bowers, McCann Millers. We got Millerton. Sims. Anderson Millerton. How does that work? So if we've got Millerton there, how on earth will that work? Militants. Just gonna check if there's... Yeah, how does that work? Yeah, that would... We're coming out of bunches, not out of Anderson. Hmm. And there's a break in the coverage. Blast. Okay. Then we have to go south. And along the Queen's Highway. Let's see if there's anything with a name on it. So if this is bunches, I have a feeling that it can't be here, can we? Well, I need to find somewhere with a name on it then. To ascertain a certain where we are. Don't think this is a Greenleaf Bar and Grill. Because I'm fairly certain it would say so. Hmm. No, 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 no. We're not gonna go up one of those again. We are gonna find out where the heck we are. Militants and bunches, but I mean, the only way we can be in this area, I mean, it must be like down here or something right now. Rather south of that location as well. The odd thing is that we're not seeing any kind of bends. Could be that house. And then we got houses here. Yeah, that could work. It seems like I got a bend coming up here. We got Lazy Acres on the bend. There's a house. And there's a house. And there's a bend. And around the bend, we have more houses. So this is the first one, Sunset House. And then Lazy Acres should be the next one. Lazy Acres, all right. Right, okay. So that's going to mean that we're up here somewhere. Maybe there. Let's see now. So there's a road going up there. And there's the bend. So the question is, do we see any trace of any other road? What happened here? Oh, all of a sudden I could go this way. Thank you very much. But yeah, that... Okay. So that has to be that one. That gives us something to work with. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a problem with that. Because that's not a road. We got houses coming up on the other side. 9, 10, 11, 12. That's got to be that one. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, that's tricky. That's tricky indeed. Okay, that means we'll just have to do a dead reckoning here. I would say we're pretty close to that thing. Yes, we are fairly close to that bend, but it's still a ways away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'd say we're about there. Okay, that was really tough. Right. The sea. The sea. Looking southwest, we have... This looks like there's a strip of land there. So could that mean that we are hereabouts? Looking across this lagoon or whatever it is. So let's say that we're somewhere down here then. Oh, houses. Let's see, I'm just going to check if there's any signs are telling us where we are. Not at the moment, no. School zone. Well, we might catch the name of the school. That kind of looked like a cross between a shop or something, but apparently wasn't. Yeah, we could be somewhere around here, couldn't we? Let's see. That business starts with a C. And that's the only thing I could see. What do we have here? Bahama Trimming. And yeah, I'm not going to head up there, but Bahama Dreamin' and Gordon's Beach Bar and Grill. Ah, that's Bahama Dreamin'. So we're here at Buckley's rather. So that puts us there. And we are looking northwest at that building. Thereabouts. Yeah. Nice. No, 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 no. Oh, wait a minute. That's not it, is it? Well, sort of is. It seems. Just want to have a look up that hill, even though that's going to take a while. I want to see if there's a view or anything. But yes, Sand Road is not a very promising thing here indeed. Oh, I thought there was a side road, but there wasn't. I got a pond. Okay. What will we see from the top of the hill? Another hill. Well, we should have a view of something at least. That's one hill. One hilly hill. And we have the ocean to the north. Okay, that is interesting by in itself. And that is a heck of a long way to be clicking. So I hope we can figure out where we are without having to resort to go that way. Now that is interesting. So I don't think we're... Well, we could actually be if there was. No, I don't think we're there. That doesn't give me a lot of opportunities, though. Let's see if we can find any names of any resorts or places to stay. So we're heading north-northeast. And there aren't many of those as far as I recall. So that, I guess, could be a candidate if there wasn't a complete lack of houses there. And this does not seem right at all. Well, maybe. Possibly, maybe. Interesting one. Okay, so we got some bends. That's nice to keep in mind. Here we got an intersection. Okay. There's a sign. And I hope that it actually says something. Dean's Blue Hole. I know I saw that. Let's see. I know I saw that as I made this thing. Dean's Blue Hole. But where was it? Let's see. And that's the only way we can go. And then we go northeast. East even. Dean's Blue Hole. It's kind of seem to recall that I saw that fairly early on as I made this map, and I made it from the north to the south. It was probably Deal's Beach I saw. No, there's a Morris Blue Hole. Blast. So where's the Dean's Blue Hole? Shrimp Hole. Deadman's Key. Here's Dean's Blue Hole. I was right about that. But where is that road? So I would say that we came down there. And not down here. So that could well be a road that's not on the map. No trouble I have with that. Well, there are several issues I have with that, really. But, another sign. Dean's Blue Hole. Welcome to Dean's Blue Hole. And what does it say on that thing? Dean's Blue Hole. Something starting with T. Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that we're somewhere in this area. And that we're not on that road. I'm gonna call it like that. And I was right. But I was not right in how far it was to this highway. That could have helped me a bit, but okay. Right. So what do we wind up with? We wind up with some horrible side roads. And quite a chore. But this is accurate. Not totally, but it also shows that this can be played to a 25k, so I'm not done with this. That is for certain, so this will stay on the list as something that I might revisit at a later date. So yeah, that was Long Island, and that was a long game, and it felt very long because of those bushes. So yeah, but it is what it is. And well, I am glad you're still with me here on the Tiny Dot in Space, and I hope you'll join me for the next episode when it's up. Until then, bye bye.